These days we've got a couple of clipping options available in Caddie. Let us have a look at Caddie 20 and how you can apply clipping to a drawing as you see in front of you. The first option I'm going to show you is something like this. So it's basically a duplication of what I've got over here. It's basically a reference symbol inserted into my drawing. But let's say that's part of an office complex, for instance. I only want to see from that reference symbol a small part, as you can see and as I'm indicating over there. So if I go to advanced objects, clipping pictures, which we'll get to a little bit later, you'll see there's also at the bottom an option where you can clip blocks or reference symbols. So what I'm going to show you now is applied to reference symbols, but the same applies to clipping of blocks as well. So once I want to clip a reference symbol, it asks you if you want to define a clipping boundary. The command line will ask you to indicate the block reference or reference symbol, indicate the clipping polygon. So I can now just tell Caddie I want to see that bit over there. Once I click on option end, you will see that it clips that referenced symbol. Now the other reference symbol options or commands that you've got there is to switch the clipping on and off. Currently the clipping is on. If I switch the clipping off on that reference symbol, you will simply see it shows the complete reference symbol again. Once I go to switch the clipping back on, you will see it just goes back to the original clipping boundary. Other options on there, show clipping boundaries. Currently you cannot see the perimeter of that clipping boundary, so if I show the clipping boundaries it will do that, and if I hide the clipping boundaries then obviously it will hide the boundaries as well. If at some point you don't want that clipping boundary to be there anymore, you want to delete it, you can either delete the clipping boundary or adjust the clipping boundary if you want to change one of the corners, etc. So in this case I'm going to delete the clipping boundary and you are back to your complete reference symbol again. Now I'm also going to apply that to pictures. Now I've got two images down here. The one is a normal JPEG, the other one is a ECW image. So I'm going to give you the options on both of those. Clipping picture extents is basically where it's going to give you an option to clip, unclip or adjust the boundary. Now the clipping on an image like this, normal JPEG, allows you to basically cut out any freeform shape that you want to be displayed or clipped. So once I click on option end, you will see it clips that image with a polygon outline. The other options on there is to unclip that. So obviously if you want to get back to the original image, you can unclip that. And you can adjust the clipping boundary. But that's applicable in normal JPEGs where you've got a freeform outline that you can do. Now if we have a look at the ECW image, I can also clip that image. But then you are limited to a rectangular area. So I just indicate two diagonal corners of the clipping area, and it will clip that for you. So with this, the clipping boundary you cannot adjust. You can unclip it if you want to, but for ECW images you are limited to a rectangular clipping option. So once again, if I go to unclip that image, or I go to unclip that one over there, you are back to your ECW image and your normal JPEG as before. Now the options for clipping applies to JPEGs, ECWs, that is basically in image formats, but as I've shown before, you can also apply clipping to block references or reference symbols that you've got in your drawing.